Good morning, Mr. Fugelsang. How are you?
Did you just say don't forget to tip your serfs? Because I think I like that much better.
No, I said servers, but serfs is funny.
Yeah.
That's funnier.
Okay.
So let's see, now we have to rewind and put in your word better than I'm dumb. So how are you, sir?
I'm like the rest of us, having a better week than Clarence Thomas. How are you?
Oh my God.
Yes, we are so hoping that he gets so much better. I really wish him well.
Oh man, Clarence Thomas is praying as at this point. My God.
Right?
Look,
Yeah.
at this point, I'd be willing to go on a ventilator to get away from Ginni for a week. We all would. I'd be willing to go under for that. But boy, it just keeps on. It just, maybe we'll get to see Joe Biden put a white guy on the Supreme Court this year after all. It's dirty, man. This whole thing is dirtier than Chris Christie's hamper.
Well, Travis, you said that Bob Woodward just said something about Ginni Thomas.
Yeah. So in some of the text messages to Mark Meadows, Ginni kept referring to, I've spoken to my best friend about this.
My best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that Clarence and her have both referred to each other as their best friends publicly on a regular basis. So
yeah,
she has been discussing this with a Supreme Court justice who ruled
against us seeing these.
Releasing her information.
Yeah.
Boy, it's almost like she's scheming and not intelligent, isn't it? It's just kind of crazy. I'm shocked that a woman who would want to marry Clarence Thomas would have such poor judgment in how she conducts herself, I got to say.
Well, I mean, you just said that he's probably trying to get away from her, so he'll be fine when they overturn Loving. He can legally get away from her.
Oh! Yeah, I mean, just knowing that she's behind Sidney Powell and Release the Kraken.
I know that. I mean, reading these texts is just utter whoa, dude.
Wacko.
Yeah.
It's even worse because Release the Kraken happens to be Ginny's secret code word to Clarence to let him know it's time to perform his husbandly duties twice a month. So
I don't know where it is, but I would have.
It's a mess all around. Yeah.
Goodness gracious, John. So what did you?
I'm sorry. These are nice people. You don't need to hear this.
Yes. Why are you being so mean to them, John? You must be nicer and have respect. I really wish you would do that.
Clarence Thomas has been very good at the job he was hired to do, which was dismantling Thurgood Marshall's entire legacy. He's
very,
done a
very
great
true.
job at it. But
very true. Yeah. So I assume, obviously, you listened to or watched the hearings with Judge Jackson. I being a lady person, I have had those looks on my face with men.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm sure she had her look with Marsha Blackburn was slightly different. Because it's a lady.
Yeah.
But I mean, looking at, I think it was Trevor Noah did a montage of her looks to everybody, and it was like, been there, done that. Women know what she's thinking, especially black women, because that's a whole different thing that they have to go through, unfortunately. But what were your thoughts on Lindsey Graham, Josh Hawley, etc., in their utter awfulness?
We've been talking about it all week and covering it all week on Sirius XM and playing all the clips every night. It's been fascinating. I think a lot of folks have said that this is sort of very, very moving for every woman who's ever, of any background, of any race. Obviously, black women are holding up our entire economy.
No kidding.
But I think for any woman who's had to stand there in an office and hear the boss's untalented nephew bloviate to justify his corner office, who's had to listen to an unqualified, low-wattage male. I mean, any brilliant woman who's been in a position of subordination to a complete mediocrity, it's been a very familiar week. And boy, the grace, the class that she has shown. And I just don't understand the GOP anymore. I literally think that, they've already got the racist vote.
Right.
They've already got the anti-intellectual vote. They've already got the anti-feminism vote. Why are they trying so hard? 4 of these guys might run for president next year. I mean, Hawley says he won't, but I'm sure he will, and Sassy as well. At this point, being a Republican is just about auditioning in your committee to get a clip that'll air that night on Newsmax.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally can't see beyond today's news cycle and to realize how terrible they're going to look in the history books. But that's the GOP. That's Mitch McConnell. That's William Barr. These people who just don't seem to care at all how their behaviors are going to look long term. They just want to get the little dopamine squirt in the brain of making people angry today. Look at Ted Cruz. They caught him searching his name and his mentions right there on the committee chair.
Yep.
So it's awful, but she has just been a model of grace and wisdom and dignity. She has thrown more shade. We'll never need daylight savings time again.
Thank God.
Yeah, the only question is going to be how many Republicans will cross over to vote for her.
Exactly. I mean, with her resume, take her name off of it, she would have gotten 100 votes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how it used to be. Up until Merrick Garland, that's how it always was. Sandra Day O'Connor was like 99. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was over 80. Sotomayor got like 68 votes. I mean, it used to be a very bipartisan thing. But when Mitch McConnell broke it and changed the number of Supreme Court judges from 9 to 8 for a whole year, and then they stole a seat, and then Donald Trump got really into nominating unqualified hacks, I mean, this is how it is now. This is the new normal, and we got to fight. And now she will spend the next several years of her life writing dissents because she's in the minority. But keep in mind, Clarence Thomas could have to resign, and it could suddenly become a 5-4 conservative majority. But for Clarence Thomas to actually, be held accountable, we would need an attorney general, and we don't have one of those. So, hopefully.
All right,
if you see them, let us know, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm becoming more of a Veruca Salt and less Allison Gill and Glenn Kirshner on my Merrick Garland dish.
You want it now?
I'm getting towards wanting it.
Daddy, I want it now!
I mean, I do want it now, but I also understand that you're going after
it's a process.
King.
Yes.
And
you have to do the process correctly. Otherwise, you lose.